the battle in our minds. This is a fight that none of us can afford to lose, because how we think shapes the reality we live in. The mind is not just an organ of thought. It is the realm where our dreams are either made or shattered. It is where victories are either won or lost before they even reach the battlefield of life. Every great achievement begins in the mind. Before any successful venture is realized, before any goal is met, before any challenge is overcome, it first exists in the mind of the person who dares to believe. This is not merely about wishful thinking. It's about the power of focused thought, unwavering belief, and disciplined action. You see, the mind is a powerful instrument, one that can either lift us to new heights or drag us into despair. The thoughts we entertain determine the direction our lives will take. It is a truth that has echoed throughout history. As a man thinks, so is he. What you allow to occupy your thoughts will dictate the course of your life. But here's the catch. We are not born with mastery over our thoughts. In fact, most of us are conditioned by the world around us to think in terms of limitations, fear, and doubt. We are taught to focus on the obstacles instead of the opportunities. We are encouraged to measure ourselves by external standards rather than by the infinite potential within us. But I'm here to tell you, this battle can be won. The first step in winning the battle in your mind is to recognize the power of belief. Your belief is the foundation of your success. Before you can conquer any external challenges, you must first conquer the belief that you can. Belief is the fuel that propels you forward when everything around you says no. It is the spark that ignites the fire of possibility within you. But belief alone is not enough. You must guard your mind from negative thinking. Negativity is the enemy of progress. Doubt, fear, and pessimism create mental roadblocks that prevent you from moving forward. These negative thoughts are like weeds in a garden. If left unchecked, they will choke out the seeds of greatness you are trying to plant. Every day you must choose to uproot those weeds and replace them with thoughts that affirm your potential. Focus is another key to victory. Life is full of distractions, but the winner in the battle of the mind is the one who can maintain focus on what truly matters. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of life, the worries, the problems, the distractions. But the person who wins the battle in their mind is the one who keeps their eyes fixed on the prize and refuses to be sidetracked by the temporary struggles. And here's an essential truth. You must train your mind like an athlete trains their body. Mental discipline is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. Just as physical strength is built through consistent effort, so is mental strength. You must be intentional about what you feed your mind. Your thoughts are like food. What you consume will either nourish or poison your spirit. This means that affirmations, positive self-talk, and disciplined thinking are not optional. They are necessities. What you say to yourself has the power to shape your self-him and your future. Speak words of life, not death. Speak words of hope, not despair. Speak words of possibility, not limitation. Emotions too must be managed. Life will challenge you. People will disappoint you. Situations will not always go your way, but in those moments, your ability to control your emotions will be your greatest strength. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them and choosing how to respond. Emotional control is one of the greatest weapons in the battle for your mind. Understand that the battle is ongoing. Every day you face new challenges, new thoughts, new emotions, and new opportunities to either win or lose the battle in your mind. It is not a one-time fight, but a continuous journey. With each victory, you grow stronger. With each setback, you gain wisdom. The key is not to give up, but to keep pressing forward, because the battle in your mind is always winnable. Remember, the battlefield is not external, it's internal. The person who can conquer their mind can conquer the world. So, stand firm, take control, and declare today that you will win the battle in your mind. Your victory is waiting. The mind is an incredibly powerful force, far more influential than we often realize. It is the foundation of every thought, action, and decision we make. The mind has the ability to shape our experiences, guide our responses to challenges, and ultimately create the reality we live in. It determines how we perceive the world around us, how we view ourselves, and how we react to circumstances, both good and bad. What many fail to realize is that the mind is not just a passive receiver of information, it is an active creator. Every moment your mind is at work, processing, interpreting, and influencing your experience. The thoughts you have shape your emotions, which then influence your actions. It is a cycle that repeats itself constantly, and it is this cycle that shapes the course of your life. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. The mind is so powerful that it can turn dreams into reality. It has the ability to envision a future that has not yet arrived, to imagine a success that has not yet been achieved, and to create opportunities out of what seems like nothing. This ability to visualize is a tool we often underestimate. When you can see yourself succeeding, when you can picture your goals as already accomplished, your mind works in ways that bring that vision closer to reality. The mind is also a double-edged sword. While it can elevate you to great heights, it can also pull you down into negativity, fear, and self-doubt. It can convince you that you are not good enough, not worthy enough, or not capable enough. But this is not a truth. It is merely a belief that you have accepted. And just as easily as you accepted that belief, you can choose to replace it with one that empowers you. The mind is malleable, and what you feed it will determine the direction it takes. If you fill it with negativity, you will experience a life filled with negativity. But if you fill it with positive thoughts, self-belief, and a vision of possibility, you will create a life that reflects those thoughts. The power of the mind lies in its ability to create a mental environment that determines your emotional state, which then dictates your actions. When you focus on empowering thoughts, you will find yourself making decisions that align with your desires and dreams. This in turn sets a chain reaction into motion, bringing you closer to your goals and allowing you to step into the life you have imagined. It is essential then to take control of your mind, to recognize that the thoughts you allow to dominate it are the ones that will shape your experiences. While external circumstances are often beyond our control, how we respond to those circumstances is entirely within our power. The mind is not just a tool for survival, it is the key to thriving. It holds the potential for greatness, and it is up to each of us to unlock that potential by choosing what we allow to occupy our minds. Mental strength is one of the most valuable assets a person can possess. It is not simply the ability to endure hardship or face adversity. It is the inner resilience that allows us to rise above challenges, navigate difficult situations, and keep moving forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain. It is the unshakable belief in yourself and your capacity to overcome, no matter the obstacles that stand before you. In a world that constantly tests our limits, mental strength acts as a weapon that can cut through doubt, fear, and uncertainty. When you possess mental strength, you are not easily swayed by the trials and tribulations that life throws your way. Rather than allowing setbacks to define you, you use them as stepping stones to build a stronger, more determined version of yourself. Mental strength gives you the ability to maintain your focus, even when things go wrong, and to stay on course despite external distractions. This strength doesn't come from avoiding discomfort or running from challenges. It is forged in the midst of them. It is developed when you face your fears head on, when you push through pain and discomfort, and when you refuse to give up, even when the world around you suggests you should. It is the courage to continue when everyone else is turning back, the perseverance to keep fighting when the odds seem insurmountable. Mental strength is about controlling your mind so that no external force can control you. It's not about being invincible. but about having the inner fortitude to keep going, even when you feel vulnerable. The beauty of mental strength is that it is a weapon available to all of us, regardless of our circumstances or background. Unlike physical strength, which may vary from person to person, mental strength is a skill that anyone can cultivate. It doesn't require special talents or innate abilities. It requires practice, discipline, and a mindset that refuses to back down. And when you make the decision to develop mental strength, you empower yourself to handle whatever comes your way, whether it's a personal setback, a professional challenge, or an unexpected crisis. One of the key aspects of mental strength is emotional control. Life is full of moments that can stir up intense emotions: anger, frustration, sadness, or even fear. It's easy to let these emotions dictate your actions and cloud your judgment. But someone with mental strength understands that emotions are temporary, they do not define you, and they do not control your actions. The true measure of strength is how you respond to these emotions. You can acknowledge them, process them, and then choose to act in a way that aligns with your values and goals, rather than being swayed by momentary feelings. Having mental strength means not allowing circumstances to dictate your happiness or success. It means taking ownership of your responses and reactions, regardless of how difficult the situation may be. It's about being solution-oriented rather than problem-focused, seeing challenges as opportunities to grow rather than obstacles to your progress. It means having the clarity and discipline to stay true to your values, even in times of stress, uncertainty, or conflict. When you possess this strength, you are no longer a passive participant in life. You become the active creator of your destiny. The more you practice mental toughness, the more it becomes a natural part of who you are. It becomes a muscle that grows stronger with use. It's the inner resolve to keep moving forward, to rise each time you fall, and to meet adversity with the unwavering conviction that you will come out on top. Mental strength allows you to adapt, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep striving for your goals, even when the world seems determined to hold you back. Mental strength is what will distinguish the achievers from those who give up along the way. It's the difference between seeing failure as the end of the road and seeing it as a temporary setback, a lesson to be learned. When you develop mental strength, you unlock the power to control your mind, and in doing so, you unlock the ability to shape your life according to your vision, no matter the challenges you face. The connection between our thoughts and the reality we experience is undeniable. Every day we are bombarded with millions of thoughts, and each one has the potential to shape the way we perceive and interact with the world. Our thoughts act as a lens through which we see everything, from our personal experiences to our relationships, careers, and even the way we view ourselves. What we think about consistently and the beliefs we hold create the framework for the life we live. In essence, our inner world forms the foundation of our outer world. At the core of this relationship is the concept that what we think often becomes what we believe, and what we believe then influences our actions. Our beliefs are powerful forces that dictate how we respond to opportunities, challenges, and setbacks. If we believe we are capable and worthy, we are more likely to take bold steps, seize opportunities, and pursue our dreams. On the other hand, if we believe we are limited, incapable, or undeserving, we may hesitate, doubt ourselves, and miss out on opportunities that could lead to growth and success. Our thoughts become the self-fulfilling prophecies that drive our actions, both consciously and unconsciously. This means that our reality is often a reflection of the thoughts we entertain. For instance, someone who constantly thinks about their failures, focusing on what went wrong or what they don't have, may find it difficult to see the potential for success or the opportunities in front of them. Their mind dwells in the past or in a scarcity mindset, creating a reality that feels limiting and discouraging. Conversely, someone who consistently nurtures positive thoughts of abundance, growth, possibility, and resilience, creates a reality filled with hope, optimism, and the drive to keep moving forward. The difference isn't necessarily the external circumstances, but how each individual perceives and reacts to them based on their thoughts. The power of thoughts shaping reality also extends to our emotional and physical experiences. The mind-body connection is deeply intertwined with the way we think. Thoughts have the ability to influence our emotions, which in turn affect our physical well-being. Positive thinking can lead to feelings of joy, contentment, and peace, which have been shown to improve overall health, reduce stress, and enhance energy levels. Negative thoughts, however, can have the opposite effect, leading to stress, anxiety, and even physical ailments. When we are consumed with negative thought patterns, our bodies often respond with tension, fatigue, or illness. Thoughts don't just shape our personal reality. They have a profound impact on how we interact with others and the opportunities we attract. We attract people, situations, and experiences that resonate with the energy we put out into the world. If we constantly think in terms of limitation or scarcity, we may attract similar circumstances, reinforcing the cycle of lack. But when we think in terms of abundance, opportunity, and possibility, we open ourselves to the flow of positive experiences, relationships, and achievements. The way we view challenges is also a direct result of our thought patterns. A person who sees obstacles as insurmountable problems will likely give up in the face of adversity. However, someone who views challenges as opportunities for growth and learning will approach them with resilience and determination. The difference is not in the challenges themselves, but in the mindset that shapes how they are perceived. A growth-oriented mindset allows us to see setbacks as temporary and as part of the journey towards success, while a fixed mindset may cause us to believe that failure is a permanent state and therefore give up. Our thoughts are like seeds planted in the soil of our mind. What we nurture and focus on will grow, whether positive or negative. The key is to recognize that we have the power to choose the seeds we plant. By consciously shifting our thoughts and redirecting them toward positive, empowering ideas, we can begin to cultivate a new reality. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties we face or pretending that everything is perfect, but it does mean focusing on solutions, possibilities, and the potential for growth. As we train our minds to focus on what we want rather than what we fear or lack, we begin to change the very fabric of our reality. It's not about denying challenges, but about understanding that the thoughts we carry shape how we experience and respond to those challenges. By consistently feeding our minds with thoughts that support our goals, dreams, and well-being, we create a self-fulfilling cycle of positive growth. Our external world eventually begins to mirror the mindset we hold within, because the way we think influences everything, from the choices we make to the energy we project into the world. Therefore, if you want to transform your reality, you must first transform the thoughts that govern it. Your mind is the lens through which you view your life. And by changing the way you think, you can fundamentally change the way you experience the world around you. It is not magic or coincidence. It is the power of the mind working in alignment with your desires, intentions, and beliefs. Your thoughts are the blueprint for the life you create. And when you master them, you master your reality. Victory in any endeavor begins long before the finish line is crossed or the success is achieved. It starts in the mind, in the quiet moments of belief, where a person dares to imagine victory even when the odds seem impossible. Belief is the foundation of every achievement, the driving force that propels us forward, even in the face of doubt or uncertainty. It is the belief in your potential, your worth, and your ability to overcome challenges that turns ordinary goals into extraordinary accomplishments. Without belief, there can be no victory. It is belief that fuels the courage to take risks, the persistence to keep going when obstacles arise, and the confidence to push through difficult times. It acts as the inner compass that guides you toward your destination, providing clarity when the path is unclear. When you truly believe in yourself and your abilities, the challenges that may seem insurmountable become opportunities to prove your strength and resilience. Belief is the spark that ignites the fire of determination. Without it, you may find yourself second-guessing your every move, hesitating at the starting line, or giving up before you even give yourself the chance to try. When you believe in your capabilities, even the most daunting tasks become manageable. Your belief builds momentum, helping you to take one step after another until those steps accumulate into progress and eventually success. It is this belief that keeps you moving forward, even when the journey is difficult, and even when external circumstances suggest you should turn back. Victory starts with belief not only in your abilities, but also in the possibility of success itself. Many people fail before they even begin because they do not believe it is possible to achieve what they desire. They are held back by their own doubts and fears, convinced that they are destined to fail or that the goal they seek is beyond their reach. But victory begins when you decide that success is not a distant dream, but a very real and achievable outcome. When you believe that victory is possible, your actions change. You approach challenges with optimism, determination, and a mindset that is focused on solutions rather than problems. Belief also gives you the strength to overcome failures. Failure is an inevitable part of any journey, and without belief, failure can feel like a permanent setback. However, when you believe in yourself and your potential, failure becomes a lesson rather than a defeat. It becomes a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth and progress. Your belief allows you to bounce back from failures, to learn from them, and to keep going with renewed vigor. It's not that you won't face setbacks, but that you will have the strength and resilience to rise again every time you fall. Belief gives you the power to silence the voices of doubt that come from within and from the outside world. The world will often question your dreams, your abilities, and your potential. People may tell you that what you're aiming for is impossible or unrealistic. But when you believe, you tune out those voices and focus on your own vision. Belief in yourself is the shield that protects you from negativity, the armor that keeps you moving forward, regardless of the criticism or doubt that may come your way. This belief doesn't have to be loud or boastful. It doesn't require grand declarations or outward displays of confidence. Sometimes belief is quiet, a calm knowing deep within that you are capable and that your vision is worth pursuing. It is a steady confidence, one that holds strong in the face of challenges, and one that refuses to be shaken by temporary setbacks. When you believe in yourself, you're not looking for external validation or reassurance. Your belief comes from within, and it is unshakable because it is rooted in the understanding that your potential is limitless. The power of belief is transformative. When you truly believe in yourself, you change how you see the world and how the world sees you. You begin to attract the people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your vision because your belief in success influences the energy you radiate. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and self-assurance, and that energy opens doors, creates opportunities, and fosters collaboration. The path to victory is never straight or simple, and there will be moments when you feel overwhelmed or uncertain. But when belief is at the core of your actions, you will find the strength to continue. You will embrace challenges as part of your journey, knowing that each step, whether forward or backward, is bringing you closer to your goal. Victory doesn't always come instantly, but with belief, you build the resilience needed to see the process through, no matter how long it takes. Belief is not just about thinking you can achieve something. It's about knowing you will. It's about trusting that the journey, with all its twists and turns, is worth the effort. Belief is the foundation, the fuel, and the force that propels you toward victory. And when you cultivate it, nothing is impossible. Victory truly begins with belief, and it is this belief that will carry you to heights you never imagined possible. Negative thinking is one of the most powerful barriers to personal growth and success. It clouds our judgment, limits our potential and prevents us from seeing the opportunities that exist all around us. It often begins with small, subtle thoughts. An internal voice that criticizes, doubts, and questions our abilities, our worth, and our future. Left unchecked, these thoughts can become habitual patterns that shape our reality and control our action. The struggle to overcome negative thinking is not simply about erasing those thoughts, but about transforming them into constructive and empowering beliefs. Negative thinking can take many forms. It can be a constant inner dialogue of self-doubt, a fear of failure, or a belief that you are not good enough. It can manifest as worrying about things that may never happen or fixating on past mistakes. Often we hold on to these thoughts as if they define us, allowing them to shape our identities and limit our choices. But the truth is that these thoughts do not define us unless we allow them to. They are merely passing reflections in our mind, and we have the power to choose whether we give them control. One of the first steps in overcoming negative thinking is becoming aware of it. Many of us go through life with negative thoughts running in the background without even realizing the impact they have on our emotions and behaviors. It's like being in a room with a constant noise you've become so accustomed to that you stop noticing it. The key to overcoming negativity is to consciously notice when these thoughts arise. The moment you catch yourself thinking negatively, take a step back and ask yourself whether these thoughts are truly serving you. Are they helping you move toward your goals? Are they empowering you? Or are they holding you back? This awareness is the first line of defense against the destructive power of negative thinking. Once you become aware of your negative thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. Negative thoughts are often rooted in fear or insecurity, but they are rarely based on facts. They are exaggerations of possibilities that haven't even happened yet. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, ask yourself if the thought is true. What evidence do you have to support it? Often you'll find that there is no solid foundation for the negative.